Today you're going to learn 7 easy ways to make people laugh and love being around you. The first is a ridiculously easy way to make people laugh whenever someone asks you a question. Watch this clip of Bo Burnham and see if you can guess what the technique is.
I must have a lot of young people that say, Bo, how do I get into the business? How do I accomplish what you've accomplished? What's your advice for young people?
I'd say, well, you got to just take a deep breath and give up.
It's that simple. When someone asks you a question, think of what they expect you to say and say the opposite. This gets the biggest laugh if it's something most people wouldn't say out loud.
Worried about this environmental stuff. You really are worried about it.
I am and I'm not. I just also feel like, it'd probably be a good thing if most of us died.
Do you enjoy being a mom? Is this?
It's all right.
As you just saw, you can soften this with a smile or a laugh so people know you're joking. If you don't want to go dark with your humor, another great way you can make people laugh is answering questions using Looney Tunes logic. What would the answer be if this were a cartoon? Here are 2 great examples with Ryan Reynolds.
So, and is she good on a plane?
She's pretty good, you know? I mean,
That's a long flight. I mean,
carry a blow dart, so, she's like, and then I just inhale one for myself.
I'm happy for Paul because, he's possibly the nicest human being in all of show business. He's aging backwards because of his contract with Satan, and or he only drinks breast milk from a blue whale or something.
Remember, for both these techniques, getting asked a question is your cue. When you're building a new habit, cues are incredibly helpful, so you can go about your social life as normal, and then whenever anyone asks you a question, that's your trigger to either answer the opposite or use Looney Tunes logic. That's how you build the habit. Once you get people laughing, the easiest way to keep them laughing is to double down on your joke. This is often what gets someone to go from, oh, that was a funny joke, to, oh, this is a funny person. As an example, listen to Ryan Reynolds talk about his parents the first time he was on Ellen.
It's interesting to look at them, you'd never know they're cannibals. Either of them. They look just like 2 normal people.
Wow.
Once he sees he's gotten a laugh from the audience, he doubles down.
You're so proud of him right now.
Man, I had a sister once.
If you do this too much, you risk killing the joke, but you're almost always in the clear to follow up once or twice. Notice in this next clip how Sona laughs harder both times Conan doubles down.
Guy, I'm a man's man.
You're not a man.
I am. Women want to be with me, men want to be on top of me. Men want to be... Women want to be with me, men want to be in me. No. It's the way that this goes that I can't...
There's a small trick you can do here if you really want to look witty. Add a little bit more specificity to the joke the second time.
Where do you get your haircut, Conan?
This isn't real. This is scientists work on this. This is a high-density polymer that NASA invented.
If this seems hard to do, there's an even easier way you can make people laugh. Double down on someone else's joke.
But have you ever been tempted to just jump up behind a podium in front of your kids to tell them, go to your room? Using the great Barack Obama voice.
My fellow Obamas. The time has come. I'll try that out.
It's that simple. The other person has done the work to find a joke framework that works in that moment. They've laid it out for you. All you have to do is laugh and follow it up. Here's another funny example with Will Arnett, Alison Brie, and Seth Rogen. For context, they're talking about the time Alison had to tell her husband about her movie called Sleeping with Other People.
Is that you had to come home and say, hey, look, I think I'm going to do this movie called Having Sex with Other People or whatever.
Yeah, sleeping with other people.
Like that's like...
That would freak me out.
I think I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna do Mass Orgy 4. Is that cool?
Is that cool with you?
Will's done the clever bit and come up with a funny premise. Movie titles you wouldn't want to tell your husband you're in. Now Seth can simply steal that framework and get a huge laugh.
Is that cool?
This movie called I Left My Husband for another actor.
You may worry that people won't like this because you're stealing their spotlight, but actually, as long as you laugh at their joke first, they'll feel great because you're showing you liked their humor enough to build off it. If this is the habit that appeals to you the most in this video, then your cue will be noticing when someone else makes you laugh. Now let's talk about how to be charismatic if someone teases you. Many people get nervous when their friends tease them because they think it makes you look bad. But actually, if you handle it well, then being teased is a fantastic chance to look confident and make people laugh.
I read that book.
Yes,
I read it. Yeah.
It's a chick book.
Yeah, well, know your enemy. Yeah.
There's tons of ways to banter back when someone teases you, but for this video, we'll focus on what to do if you find yourself getting defensive. It's called the reverse defense. When you catch yourself trying to look cool, double back and undercut what you just said to defend yourself. This sounds complicated, but it's super easy. For example, listen to Jack Whitehall get defensive about looking weird, and then reverse direction to get a laugh.
Yeah, I found my sketchbook from when I was at school, and in it there were some drawings, some sketches that I'd done of The Rock because I was that obsessed with him.
Now, how old
weird
are you?
ones.
How old are you?
Just him naked on a chaise longue.
The key here is to use your knee-jerk reaction of getting defensive as a setup for a bit of misdirection. Here's one more quick example with Sona and Conan. Sona says Conan doesn't know anything about cars. Conan initially tries to defend himself, but then he leans into pretending he knows nothing.
I have a lot of wisdom. I do.
What do you have? You know cars?
I do know cars.
No, you don't.
That's a car right there.
This doesn't have to be limited to when you're defending yourself. This is just a specific version of the fake out method we've covered in past videos. Anytime you can set up expectations going one way and then go another, you can get a laugh.
I came into my son's bedroom the other night and he looked really sad. I said, "What's the matter, buddy?" Because I don't know his name. I'm never home.
As you just saw, the easiest setup for the fake out method is something that makes people expect you to say something sweet.
Now, you're a big...
Let me tell you something, and I mean this. I don't care how many talk shows are out there, who's hot, who's the latest, whatever. At the end of the day, on this network at this hour, there's nobody.
Now, if everything in this video seems too complicated, you're going to love this last technique because it doesn't require any quick thinking in the moment. First, think of the most common conversations that tend to come up around you, and then come up with some go-to jokes ahead of time. You'd be surprised at how often the comedians that you think are so impressively quick-witted in the moment are simply reusing jokes they've told before. For instance, Craig Ferguson has a go-to joke for whenever you want to playfully express you don't like what someone is saying.
Can you drink coffee when you're pregnant?
I think you can have a cup. I don't drink coffee.
Oh, you don't?
It makes me crazy.
How long have you been in Al-Qaeda? Have you ever watched Doctor Who?
No. I know.
Really? That's interesting. How long have you been in Al-Qaeda? But you don't like Mythbusters?
I don't, there's something about it, like I have to turn it off if it's on.
Really? How long have you been in Al-Qaeda?
This is so easy, but it gets a laugh every time. Here's another example. Kevin Hart knows that because he's short, people are going to remark about his appearance, so he has go-to jokes for the situation.
I'm like a sex symbol. Here's the thing. It's like, honestly, it looks like somebody drew me. It's like perfect.